3 lives. It's been a damn minute for sure. Peace, family, peace, peace. Make sure y'all share, y'all. We live on all 3. We live on TikTok. We live on YouTube. We live on IG. Okay, peace and love, everybody. For everybody that know, y'all remember we got banned from TikTok about a year ago. I forgot all about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, I was just scrolling on TikTok, and then I seen my old account. I'm like, what the world? All right, let me try to get back in there. Pop back in, y'all, and we back, y'all. We back. All right, so we live on TikTok. Shout out to TikTok, y'all. I see that y'all been following for a while. All right, y'all been missing a lot. Y'all been missing a lot. We live on YouTube as well, live on IG. Okay, a lot of information tonight, y'all. We getting straight to it. We ain't playing no games. All right, we getting straight to it. Get your notepads out. All right, we are diving deep into security interests, not just security interests, understanding how to build it up, family. All right, I'm getting a lot of consultations, a lot of people that's telling me, yeah, I know this, I know that. All right, but if you don't know how to litigate, family, all this stuff is dead. All right, everything is dead. All right, everything you're doing is for play. Okay, so we're gonna dive deep into it. All right, I'm gonna try my best to show you a whole example, all right, all the way up to court. Even so, what happens if you go to court, you get your case dismissed. All right, we're going to talk about that as well. All right, yes, I did have my son. Yes, yes, yes. Young Mecca has arrived. All right, yes, yes. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate that. All right, appreciate that. I am definitely excited. Me and his mom is definitely excited. All right, definitely excited. All right, we got him home now. So, yeah, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. All right, we had to do a little bit of rescheduling. All right, the We the People mentorship or subscription that we have every Sunday. We were supposed to meet this last Sunday, but my son was born. All right, I will make that day up this week. All right, so basically we're gonna have 2 classes this week, one of the days this week, and also Sunday for our upcoming Sunday. All right, just want y'all to understand. I haven't forgot about y'all. All right, we just had some things come up. All right, good things, by the way. All right, hope everybody been cool. I ain't been on live in a while. All right. I've been getting a lot of folks that's been getting accepted for credit cards. A lot of people getting approved for houses. All right. We're not talking about no quote unquote chump change houses either. All right. And a lot of people ask me, well, where are these people? All right. Now let me ask y'all a question. All right. Let me really ask y'all a question. All right. Would it be smart for someone to get a multi-million-dollar house and then get on camera and say, hey, yo, I got a house and I did it? Like, do y'all honestly think it would be smart for that person just to prove to people that this stuff works, just so you can say, ah, I think I should try this. And then they possibly could die, all right, get their whole family wiped out. I know a lot of y'all don't think about things like this, all right? And I used to think about things like this, and I really stopped thinking about it until one of my students, he told me some grave information. They told me that the mortgage company that he's going against, they took a picture of his grandma's house, his house, and he sent it to me. I'm like, God dang, like who sent this? He was like, hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man, I'm kind of nervous. All right. And I'm here to let y'all know this is not no play where I'm just getting houses and about to go on camera and say, I got a free house, family. That's not how it is. All right, that's not how it is. There's a lot of NDAs that get signed. All right, so let me ask y'all a question. If I had an NDA, do you think I would jeopardize that just to tell people this stuff is real? All right, now we're past the whole notion of trying to prove to people. All right, but the thing is, now we need to understand, like, hey, we need to be smarter with this. All right, yes, bringing in trust. Yes, also bringing in layers, bringing in dynasty trust, bringing in empires. All right, now, again, that's next level for those that don't know what that is. I'm just kind of planting the seed. All right, but getting back to the security interests. All right, we have to understand there is a private side and then there is a public side. All right, 2 sides, private side and a public side. I know a lot of people are telling y'all, stay out of the public, stay out of the public. Do not enter the public. And I'm here to let y'all know, stop listening to these people. Now, bless their soul. They just trying to, show you the right way. They're just learning from what somebody told them. All right. But you have to understand, I have to be able to overstand the public debts to be able to overstand the private credit. All right, one does not happen without the other. I cannot have a private credit without understanding the public debt, meaning public debts are good. All right, I might be the first person to ever tell y'all this, but public debts, taxes are good. Okay, now, of course, when you don't understand what it is, these people are going to be telling you the IRS is the big boogeyman. These people going to tell you the Federal Reserve is this and that. Now, granted, I'm not here to tell you everything is just peaches and cream. All I'm saying is when you understand how to contract, when you understand how to leverage your security interests, all right, from my lens, the Federal Reserve is good. From my lens, the IRS is good because the IRS, if anybody doesn't know about the IRS, okay, they basically audit accounts. All right, they audit accounts. All right, the only people that are afraid of audits is people that are doing business wrong. Now, if I'm doing business right and I'm bringing in the IRS, again, this is just an option. I don't have to bring in the IRS. All right, but if I am bringing in the IRS, I could literally let them know, hey, I have a fiduciary, there was a fiduciary creation between me and Bank of America, all right, for a car loan. Okay, now what the IRS is going to do is now audit that account. I have to make sure that the IRS understand that my estate or my trust is the creditor, not the borrower. All right, so a lot of folks is kind of stuck in between, understand if they're the borrower or are they the creditors. All right, because we don't understand who the original creditor is, and understand that the original creditor transfers, all right, rights to borrowers so borrowers can carry out the duties for creditors. All right, now let me say that again because I probably said that too fast. All right, now remember, original creditors, meaning if you're utilizing your estate, if you're utilizing the trust, all right, when you go get a house, when you get a car or something like that, all right, when you're giving that name, all right, that is the creditor. Whatever name that you're giving, that principal, that's the creditor because that is the source of where the value is coming from. Okay, so again, after you submitting that application using your estate, rather you're using your trust, all right, rather using the LLC, it doesn't matter. It's all a principal. All right, so that is the original creditor. But what happens is after we submit an application, we give it to a bank. We have to transfer rights and duties to the bank so they can carry out the duties. All right, almost thinking about this. We have to basically give the banks a badge. All right, almost like a hall pass. All right, y'all remember when we was in school, you had to get a hall pass to go to the bathroom. All right, so look at it like this. You have to give the banks a hall pass to be able to go to the Federal Reserve to get your line of credit. Why? Because you can't do it individually. All right, you can't walk to the Federal Reserve. Oh, snap. All right. Yeah. All right. So you can't walk to the Federal Reserve. All right. But basically, the banks cannot walk to the Federal Reserve without a what? A pass from who? You. Meaning they're going to the Federal Reserve. So let me use somebody's example. Let's say the guy's name, John Rosenthal. All right. Let's say John Rosenthal is going to get a car, right? He goes to get a car. He gives an application. He gives the application to the dealership. The dealership shops. Hear the verbiage, shops his application around. A bank comes and picks it up. All right. The bank picks up his application, picks up his whole security collateral bundle. All right. Then takes that to the Federal Reserve Bank. All right. The Federal Reserve Bank, for those that don't understand how this goes, if you don't understand where your where your application goes after you submit it, all right, I'm here to tell you. Okay. It goes to the banks, to the Federal Reserve, from the Federal Reserve back to the banks, and it's supposed to come back to you. But the problem is so many people has been living by a credit score. I'm gonna say it again. So many people has been living by a credit score and a credit report. All right. These banks have learned how to use our, I should say, lack of capacity to contract against us. Basically come to us and say, hey, sorry, upon further review, we appreciate your consideration, but we see that we have to decline you due to your debt to income ratio being too high. All right, so that instantly tells folks, damn, all right, let me go work on my credit score. Let me go call Don. Let me go hit up Dre up right quick. Let me go get some trade lines. Let me go get some things removed off of my credit report real fast. All right, and then I can, in 90 days, I can go reapply and get a. Hey, y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? All right, I can't even act like it gives me like the jitters. Like I can't even what credit report, what credit score, okay. And again, I'm not trying to die because one thing I learned about these credit repair folks, man, they is not playing with folks that's messing with their money. All right, so again, I'm not here to knock anybody's hustle or bustle or nussle, whatever it is. All I'm here to say is these credit repair can really level their game up once they understand security interests. All right, because imagine all the clients that they have. Imagine how many people trust them, right? All right, imagine how many people trust them, right, with their accounts. Now, imagine if they understood how to leverage a security interest and they can get all of their clients' money back, everything that's over $1. Why? Because we understand 15 USC 1615 tells us after we prepay in full. For those that's been following, we understand when we prepay in full, we're literally leveraging our original security interest to cover all our obligations. After we do that, okay, everything that we came out of pocket is going to look like what is called unearned interest. Okay, unearned interest. Now, hear the verbiage, unearned interest. Now, why would Congress force the banks to give credit or consumers back unearned interest? All right, when I read that, I just didn't understand. Like, what in the world? You mean to tell me everything that I came out of pocket that was over $1, the bank's supposed to revert that back to me as long as I prepay in full? It doesn't say the word pre. We're going to leave it off. All right, it doesn't say prepay. Do it. All right, it doesn't say prepay. All right, no, it doesn't say repay. My apologies. It says prepay. It doesn't say repay. It says repay. Y'all go read it for yourselves. 15 USC 1615. All right. All right. 15 USC 1615. Go look it up. All right. Look it up. Okay. It's literally going to tell you. All right. After a consumer prepays in full. All right. The creditor has to refund the consumer everything that's over $1. All right, for some of y'all to say, but you just said that we're the creditors. Remember, I told you we're the original creditors and we give the banks creditor rights to basically carry out our duties. The problem is we don't know how to claim our original creditor status back. We don't, and a lot of people think is, well, I corrected my status. All right, I hear that so much. I corrected my status. What you mean I corrected my status? All right, well, did you prove it? Did you prove it? So many of y'all say I corrected my status. I did my secured party creditor packet. All right, but did you prove it? Have you litigated anything? Remember I said, if you don't know how to litigate, man, you're dead in the water. You just out here practicing. All right, you're just out here practicing. All right, so let's start from the beginning. Okay, who was our example? We're using, what was his name? John Rosenthal. All right, so John Rosenthal's. Let's start with a house. Let's start with a house. All right, John Rosenthal's. He sees a house on Zillow, 4.5 million. All right, John Rosenthal. He has a trust. All right, he has a trust called John Rosenthal Living Trust. It's an irrevocable with a dynasty clause attached to it as well, with all the bells and all the whistles. All right, so he finds a house on Zillow. He reaches out to the agent. He lets the agent know that, hey, I would like to go ahead and purchase this home. All right, I would like to do outside financing. All right, meaning I have my own financing. All right, all I need from you, agent, all right, is a buyer's order. All right, or a purchase agreement. Give me a purchase agreement for the house so I can take it to my bank. All right, we can hash out the numbers and I can bring you a check. All right, that's how John Rosenthal is talking. You see what I'm saying? He ain't talking like, can I afford this? No, he's not doing that, okay? He's letting them know, hey, I already got outside financing. All right, all I need from you agent is a purchase agreement. That is all. All right, that is all. All right, because once we do that, all right, what happens? Because that bank is hearing, oh, he's going to another bank to go get approved. Meaning we don't have to approve him. Meaning we just got to give him a purchase agreement and sit here and wait for him to bring us our check. All right, you got to play chess, family. You got to play chess. All right, you got to play chess. All right, and what I mean by that is you have to think 5 steps ahead. Y'all out here playing checkers. I used to play checkers too. I haven't played checkers in quite some time, though. I can definitely say that. I haven't played checkers in quite some time. All right. Okay, but anyway. All right, so he lets them, now the agent sends him a purchase agreement because it doesn't take long. All right, the agent sends him a purchase agreement. What happens next? All right, what happens next? Now, John Rosenthal understands how to leverage a security interest. What does John Rosenthal start? He starts his 3-wave process. What is a 3-wave process? What is that? All right, it's something I created. All right, it's something I created. I put a stamp on it. What did he say in American Gangster? All right, I built this. Okay, I don't care if you call it Red Dog. Okay, all right, yes. All right, yes, I built the 3-wave process. Now, what is the 3-wave process? All right, first wave, it's going to be utilizing documents like this. Now, I'm not going to give y'all the whole game, all right, but I'm going to give you some of the documents that are included in the 3-wave process. All right, first wave, all right, you're going to give them a claim to security interest. You're going to give them a bill of exchange for the full price of the home. All right. You're also going to give an affidavit of truth. You're also going to give a conditional acceptance. You're also going to give a tender of payment. You're also going to give them what else can we give them to make it more honorable? All right. We can give them some UCC information, letting them know how we're trying to do everything. We can also give them a cover letter. All right. Explaining every single document. All right. That's going to be our first wave, family. We're going to send that out. We're going to give the company 7 to 10 business days, depending on your urgency. All right. 7 to 10 business days, depending on your urgency. All right. After we send that, we're going to sit by and literally twiddle our thumbs. All right. One thing we're not going to do, we're not going to care about them saying yes or no. Why aren't we caring about saying yes or no? Because one thing for sure, 2 things for certain, they're not going to say yes. All right. For sure, they're going to say no. They're going to say, we don't do business this way. This is not traditional. And it's really funny that utilizing the law is looked at as non-traditional, but we'll get to that later. All right. Now, they're going to tell you that this is not a traditional way of doing business. We need to see some proof of funds, Mr. Rosenthal. All right. We need to see these things before we can move forward. All right. Mr. Rosenthal, just like me, will ignore them. All right. Because if they don't say yes, it means they're saying no. All right, so I don't know why people sit around and wait. Maybe they're going to say something if I put this involved. Maybe if I add this to my packet, they'll say something. Maybe if I add this, they'll be scared. They're not scared of us, family. They're not scared of me. They're not scared of you. They're not scared of nobody. All right, the only people they're scared of is those that can build a case and present it to the court. All right, and summons them for a litigation match. Okay, that's literally the only thing they respect. All right. Now, I understand that's really the only thing I respect as well, because that's the law of the land. When you have an issue, you have to go to the public. All right. You have to go make it public. Back in the days when you did something and I tried to straighten out with you privately, I got to go tell the whole city, hey, Bill Smith owe me money. Y'all don't give his broke ass nothing. Don't give him nothing, y'all. He ain't paid me back. Yeah. It's the same way now with more civics to it, all right? You go to court, place your case, you pay for your fee for your lawsuit, and boom, all right? You get a chance for the court to hear your case, all right? Now, again, let's get back to the wave, all right? He's now waiting for his 7 days. Remember, 7 days or 10 business days for the first wave starts after they receive the letter, okay? Not when you send it, all right? Not when you send it, okay? Not when you send it, literally. And I do overnight. I overnight all my mail, all right? So they can get it faster, all right? But you don't have to do that, but just understand, you can't count your business days until they receive it, okay? After they receive it, now you can start counting your business days, 7 to 10 for the first wave. Remember, we're not worried about them saying, hey, can you explain this? I'm not here to explain nothing, all right? Nothing, okay? Give this to your legal team. All right, y'all know how they tell us? Seek legal advice if you need. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. I'm not here to teach the law. All right, I'm here to give, well, John Rosenthal is here to leverage his security interest that he will be providing on behalf of his trust. Okay, so remember, we're counting our 7 days. All right, now we're getting to the wave 2, second wave. All right, wave 2 is going to have documentations like this. Affidavit of non-response and non-performance. All right, you can also send an opportunity to cure. We can send another tender of payment, another bill of exchange. All right, this go around, we can give 3 to 5 business days, depending on your urgency. Okay, so think about it. Somebody said, I'm an ex-con. I've never been to prison. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Stay focused. All right. Now, wave 2. All right. Remember, that's wave 2. We're giving it 3 to 5 business days. All right. 3 to 5 business days. All right. Now, remember, we cannot start counting to win. We can't start counting to win until they receive it. All right. After they receive it, we count 3, 5. Okay. Now, we already know they're not going to say yes. They're going to say no. They'll probably say things like, we don't accept this form of payment. We need to see proof of funds. We need to see an actual. We're ignoring all that. All right. We not sitting there waiting and getting our hearts broke because they said we don't take this form of payment. Duh, they gonna say that. They at work. These people are at work. Do you think they understand this method of business? No, because I don't know nobody that's at work that knows this method of business. This is high net methods, family. All right. This is high net mechanisms. All right. High net mechanisms. All right. When we dealing with financing and understanding the economy, understanding truth of lending, understanding consumer credit transactions. All right. Imagine how many people that call themselves financial strategists or financial teachers. They don't even understand security interests. All right. Oh my God. Next time y'all hear somebody talking about finance, just ask them, hey man, do you know how to leverage security interests? They're like, what are you talking about? You talking about compounding interest? No, I'm talking about leveraging a security interest. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So anyway, now we're on our second wave. After we count our 3 to 5 business days. All right. Now John Rosenthal is going to send his third wave. Third and final wave, because we're only going to knock 3 times. We only going to attempt 3 times. If I text a woman 3 times, she don't text back 9 times or 10 times out of 10, she's not interested in me. All right. So if I'm sending them letters 3 times, giving them full examples, giving them full details of what to do, and they're just not doing, I can honestly say this is dishonor. At least I can say from my eyes, I feel like I'm being damaged. All right. And we need to have a conversation in the public court. Okay, I'm not going to keep sending them letters privately. Like, what are we doing? Some of y'all are so hooked on private. That's why you don't understand the public. And that's why you don't have any results, because you're one-sided. All right, you're one way. You only know one. You only know private. You have no understanding of public. No public rules and regulations. Why? Because someone has told you, don't even worry about it. Okay. So third wave. All right. Third wave is going to be our 72-hour notice to litigate. We're going to give them 72 hours, which is 3 business days, family. All right. That's 3 business days. All right. So as you see, the process literally shrinks every single wave because we're getting urgent every single wave. Okay. Now, once we understand, now we're at the third wave. We're going to send them a 72-hour notice to litigate. We can send them a default judgment. We can send them a final notice of non-performance. Now, why are we sending this? We understand they're not going to say nothing back to us. All right. We understand this. We're doing this so we can have evidence for our court case. And that's what a lot of people is not doing. Y'all are literally trying to send documents and thinking that piece of document is going to get them to say, okay, you've got approved for 4.5 million. Do y'all really think it's that easy? All right. Well, if I'm here to let you know, it's not. All right. That's not how it goes. All right. This is not fairy tale. This is not that, family. All right. This is an adult game. All right. This is the big leagues. Okay. This is the big leagues. Hold on right quick, family. Hold on right fast. Hold on right quick. Hold on. Had to get my little one situated. All right, so third wave. All right, we talking about the default judgment. We talking about 72-hour notice as well. All right, now how many y'all go in and count the days up? How many days have we went through? All right, 7 to 10. Let's go max 10 days first wave. 7 days second wave. That's 17 days. Third wave is 3 days. So what is that? 20 business days. All right, enough business days before your next bill come through. All right, that's why I be trying to tell y'all, listen, you can literally build a case in less than 30 days. All right, you can literally build a case before, all right, your next bill. All right, get them before they get you. All right, sue them before they start to litigate on you. Okay, literally. All right, so now we about to get to the court part. All right, I do not give legal advice, but I do give lawful awareness. All right, now after we done compound all of our waves, our first wave, second wave, third wave. All right, now we can go down to our courthouse. All right, now we can go file a lawsuit because we have all our evidence. We can go either way. All right, I try to inform people to try to find one claim. Don't be trying to find 5 claims, 10 counts, 10 claims, and because now you have to literally prove every single claim. So keep it simple. All right, I can give you some ideas. All right, some ideas. All right, now let me ask you a question. If you gave them an application that was supposed to be of value, okay, remember, John Rosenthal gave them a tender of payment, gave them a bill of exchange, gave them a claim to security interest, all right, meaning he gave them value. All right, remember the house is 4.5 million, gave them a value of 4.5 million. That was his security collateral. All right, now remember, they told him, we don't do business like that. Did they ever give him his security collateral back? Did they ever give his security collateral back? No, they didn't. All right, so we understand that they received something, they gained something without John Rosenthal gaining something back, which is called unjust enrichment. All right, y'all look it up. All right, look it up. Y'all doing a bunch of chit chat, patty whacking. Look it up. All right, look it up. All right, look it up. Look it up. Unjust enrichment. I just gave you a claim. Okay, remember, this is not legal advice, but this is lawful awareness. Okay, so again, I'm not trying to tell you to go build 100 violations. Find one violation. John Rosenthal only has to find one violation. What was his first violation? All right, when he sent over his tender of payment, sent over his security collateral packet, and they basically told him, oh, no, we don't accept this. What do you mean you don't accept this, borrower? Remember, the banks are the borrower. Remember, the banks took his security collateral, went to the Federal Reserve, came back with the line of credit, 4.5 million, but told him, sorry, we're going to need to see some proof of funds. What you need to see proof of funds for? My proof of funds is the security collateral that you used, went to the Federal Reserve, all right, and you got that line of credit. Remember, family banks are borrowers. They don't have any money. All right. So for anybody that y'all think that's a financial guru or anything, I tell them I told you to tell them that they are peasants. Okay. Remember, I want y'all to tell them that I told you to tell them that they are peasants. All right. And if they want to have a chit chat, they can come to the page. I will tell them they are peasants. All right. Now, what is a peasant? A peasant is anybody that left the farms and went to start working in industries. All right, so anybody that's trying to tell y'all to leverage your credit score is a peasant. Anybody that's telling y'all to literally pay your credit card bill twice to get a higher credit score is a peasant. All right, biggest peasant, biggest peas you can never meet. All right, and if they want to understand some real information, tell them to come to the page. All right, we are here to teach, raise up, but first we have to destroy. We have to destroy before we can build. I know some of y'all don't like that. I know some of y'all won't. It can't be like that, fam. We have to destroy for us to build, okay? All right, seek, destroy, and then build, okay? That is the motto. Seek, destroy peasantry, and build, okay? All right, let's go. All right, so now, John Rosenthal has his whole claim. He's going to build his case off of unjust enrichment. All right. He's going to build it off unjust enrichment. Why? Because he never received any type of gain from his security collateral that he gave. All right. So he can literally build off of that. All right, he has all his evidence. All right, he has them dishonoring, saying we don't do we don't do this type of business. All right, he has them in red-handed saying we do not accept lawful payments. So when y'all tell me, hey man, so they said they don't accept this, what do I do? What do you mean? What do you do? This is a good thing. This isn't bad. Y'all gotta remember, someone else's bad is our good. When we get denied, we are happy. Why? Because we can build off of denial. It literally is going to tell us, thank you for your consideration. When you understand contracting, when you understand consideration means value, they're literally telling you in contractual terms, thank you for your value, but unfortunately, we cannot extend you this credit. All right, that is unjust enrichment, family. A slap in your face. Okay, he's going to literally build that case up, family. Literally, he don't got to go. He don't need no lawyer. All right, John Rosenthal don't need no lawyer. Now, what do a lot of people fail to do when they get to this point? People start hoping and praying like, I got them now. They about to settle with me now. Not understanding they have $1 million lawyers. You don't think that these lawyers are at least going to try? Y'all think they're going to try? You don't think they're going to try to prove their value? You think they're going to go to their client and tell them, hey, nah, I can't beat this. They're using security collateral. I can't win this. What? You know how fast they can call you a sovereign citizen? You know how many people be trying to show people of losing cases? Like y'all be seeing people when they be trying to say, look at this sovereign citizen stuff. Don't try this stuff. Y'all gonna be locked up. They always show losers. Always. Always. Y'all ever realize that? As if the game isn't going to have winners and losers. Any sports you watch, there are winners and there are losers. All right? This is a sport. Why do you think they call it court? Two parties are going to get may the best case win. All right? You have to understand, sometimes you got to lose to win. You know how many people sit on the sideline that don't even know what we're talking about? That'll say, but you lost. But you lost. You know what I'm saying? But they be so loud about the loss, but they'll never say nothing about the win. Then they'll say this, well, where are the wins? They say, where are the wins? And then when people say, I won, they say, nah, he paid you to say that. You see, again, that's why we're not here to prove anyone. We're just here to show you the process. If it is what it is, if you tap in, you tap in. If you don't, you don't. Y'all been watching me for 5 years now. Y'all thought I was going to be locked up. I'm still here. I don't know what you thought it was. I tried to tell you I wasn't going nowhere. All right. And we have a free event in Greenville, South Carolina this Sunday. All right. Free event this Sunday in Greenville, South Carolina, family. So pull up, get the information. All right, it's going to be a family event. Make sure y'all pull up. I had to throw that in there. All right, but back to it. Okay, now he understands he's in court now. Now the opposing party, meaning the banks that declined him, that said they're not going to take his security collateral packet. All right, now they have two options. They can either fight it or they can either fold. All right, now first and foremost, you want to build on that they're going to fight. You want to assume that they're going to fight. You don't want to assume that they're going to fold, because a lot of people that do that always lose. Okay, I always assume that they're going to fight. A lot of times their very first motion is going to be a motion to dismiss for lack of claim, motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction, or motion to dismiss for lack of damages. All right, literally one of those three. Okay, now the reason why they do that is because a lot of people, like myself in the beginning, do not know how to answer to a motion to dismiss. I did not know how to answer when I first started. All right, I thought I could just send stuff in. Like, no, you have to literally answer. And if they say motion to dismiss for lack of claim, you might have literally said a claim. But what you have to do is basically reiterate your claim. You have to say, oh, whoa, my claim was unjust enrichment. I did state a claim. My answer to their motion to dismiss for lack of claim is my answer that I did state a claim. All right, my claim is unjust enrichment. All right, now, of course, you want to find your state codes for whatever that falls up under. All right, maybe a little different in every other state. All right, so you want to make sure you put in your state code. All right, a lot of time when you go straight federal in the state, it could get thrown out for lack of jurisdiction. So you always want to find the state code that matches with the federal as well. All right, just so you can kind of, there's no delays. All right, but anyway. All right. So now he's going to do a answer to the motion of dismiss for lack of claim. He's going to reiterate his claim. All right. Now the judge can either do two things. All right. Grant the motion to dismiss. Okay. He can either grant it or dismiss it. All right. Meaning, no. Now we're not. It's no. There is a claim here, and we got a case. Hearing is on a such and such date. All right. That's music to our ears, because that's basically telling us the judge sees a case here. The judge is rocking. The judge is doing his job as being a referee, and we got us a ball game. All right. Let's go. All right. May the best defense, may the best offense win. Okay, that's how you got to look at it. Because if not, you're going to be looking at this like you're going to be licking your chops too early, thinking you won. Oh my gosh, man, so my case got accepted. All right, that's just the first part of the public process. All right, you still got to win the motion game. You got to win the pre-trial game. You know, you got to win the layup line. I know it sounds crazy, but you got to win the layup lines before the game gets started. All right. A lot of times it doesn't make it to the hearing, but you have to be prepared for the hearing. All right. Now, it might go like this. The judge might hear both sides and say, hey, I'm going to send y'all to mediation. Okay. Mediation is basically arbitration, basically a private conversation that y'all can have to come together. See if y'all can come to a deal. All right. If y'all can't come to a deal, come back to me as the judge and I'll make a ruling. All right. That's what happens a lot of times when both parties are answering on time and going back and forth. A lot of times the judge is going to basically motion for mediation. All right. After mediation, both parties are literally going to hear each other's talk. They're going to ask you, hey, listen, this is sovereign citizen. You don't have a security interest in the house. You need, they're going to say all the, regular policy stuff. And you have to stand on your law. All right, because what is the point of folding at that point when you just seen the courts is rocking with you? Okay, so there's no need to fold there. They're literally trying to muscle you off your square. All right, so when you're in that arbitration, you're in that mediation, you need to stand on it. Like, hey, I have a security interest here. All right, I've been sending y'all letters. I've been sending y'all instructions. No one has gotten back to me. All right, so in my mind, I feel like y'all are dishonoring. All right, y'all have a duty. Y'all have a fiduciary duty. I trusted y'all. All right, I believed in y'all. That's when you start having your whole patriot moment. I believed in y'all. All right, I trusted y'all with private documentation. I embedded y'all with trust documents. Okay, I could have went anywhere in the world, but I went to y'all. You see what I'm saying? That's how y'all gotta look at it, because you could have went anywhere, but you went to them, and they should be grateful. All right. They should be grateful. All right. So then when they hear that, they're like, oh, damn. Okay. Damn, he's prepared to go all the way. Because most time when they talk to people in these mediations, man, they step on people. What? They step on people. Imagine you just took some classes, you sent some letters off, and you thought that's all it was going to be. Now you got mediation. Now you're in mediation looking crazy as hell. All right. Because you really don't know how all this was. All right. You thought you did. All right. And that's why I say I love it when people reach to a point that they've never got before and get shot down, because that is the learning. That's the learning curve. All right. Every step I got to that was hard. I was never successful the first time. All right. I always had to get knocked down to go, okay, cool. All right. But one thing I never did, I never quit it. Never. That's why I always ask them, you can see the loss, but why they don't never say nothing about the win? They don't never say nothing about the win. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't be here if I ain't never win anything. All right. People wouldn't still be following if I didn't win anything. Okay. I don't see how people don't see that. All right. But I'm about to retire in October. So, 5 years running, we ain't get locked up. All right. No lawsuits. Oh my gosh. I meant to tell y'all that. Do y'all not know no one has ever sued me these last 5 years? Okay. I feel so great because of that. All right, now if you want to sue, go ahead, try. All right, you can do whatever you want to do. We'll talk about it. Where? All right, but I haven't been sued. I haven't been locked up for no scamming, no fraudulent, nothing. Okay, you know how many people had literally prayed upon that to happen to me? Okay, so I feel great. Okay, I feel accomplished. All right, and I'm here to tell y'all you can feel accomplished too, because there's going to be a lot of naysayers, way more naysayers than those that are yay sayers. All right, there's way more naysayers than there are yay sayers. All right, I'm here to let y'all know they're going to throw rocks at you. Your whole family going to be like, man, you crazy as hell. You better go to work. Your friends gonna be like, man, you better, man. I don't. I'm about to take my ass to work. You tripping? All right. And then once you start making that separation, you know how hard it is to be able to start talking to your friends and family members about what you're doing. They coming to you to unload all that work life, all the well, you know, most people work, so I don't feel ashamed. You know, I'm just like it, you know. And it's like, wow. So many of us feel like we're special, but at the same time, we do the same thing to pay our bills. All right. I just had a conversation with myself. I was telling her, you know, everybody is not special. You know, you're not special unless you do something rare. And what is rare? And it's crazy to say rare today is utilizing your rights. Some people call me a guru. It's almost laughable because how am I a guru? All because I'm exercising my rights. All right. I can see if it was a privilege. All right. But this is a right. I'm gonna say it again. I can see if it's a privilege. Now, if this was a privilege and I start doing this, I'm mastering it. Yeah, that's a guru. But this is our rights. I'm not a guru. I'm just a man that read. So that's why I'm saying the traditional way of doing things is looked at as non-traditional. Okay? So understand, you got to go against the grain, family. That means going broke. That means that's sacrificing for those extra fees that you paying, going out, like sit down. All right, save your money, put your money to the side, keep paying your bills, and literally start building your cases. All right, for those that know what I'm talking about, I'm talking to you. But for those that are beginners, I'm not telling you to rush into this. All right, start reading your contract. In your contract, it literally tells you that you gave them a security interest in the property. All right, so understanding that, all right, that lets you know you gave them something. Okay. Now, for everybody that's having issues with their cases, having issues with the public administrative process, the private administrative process, I want to say for the last 6 months, all right, I'm saying this for TikTok because I understand TikTok, we just got them banned. All right, for the last 6 months, we've been doing contract review services. All right, meaning we are literally assisting with the documents on your private administrative process and your public administrative process. All right, meaning if you have a mortgage, if you have a car contract, if you have an insurance you pay, if you have student loans, a credit card, okay, we have those services for you. All right, now we can't get into the detailing of certain services because it is private. All right, but again, we have over 200 clients since then, family. All right, and again, all right, I really can't wait to retire because now I can kind of build with them personally, or I can build with them privately. All right, and I was looking at it now, like being able to build with those that actually believe rather than trying to tell folks, hey, look, you need to be doing this. Yo, it's going to be way less hassles. Again, I'm not saying that to retiring from as far as you know, being on social media lives like this. All right, but I definitely want y'all to tap in with those services. We also have trust services as well. All right, if you need a living trust, all right, if you need a dynasty trust, all right, if you need a dynasty trust, for those that know what a dynasty trust is, ooh-wee, all right, you need an empire built. All right, where can you go to get an empire built? Some of y'all don't even know what I'm talking about. And again, I'm not talking down to anybody, but I'm just asking you, where can you go to get an empire built? Does people even know what an empire is? Did you know if you have an empire, you could have a diplomatic immunity? All right, now remember, this level of understanding only comes for the good-hearted, those that's operating in good faith. All right, because having diplomatic immunity status doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. All right, it simply means you can't get harassed by certain companies. Okay. Now, when you have an empire, all right, now imagine having an empire, imagine having a dynasty trust, family trust under that empire, all right, up under that you have your private equity groups, you have your holding companies, LLCs, whatnot, all right, also your ministries, all right, imagine having those layers, okay, imagine moving through those layers only. Now, again, a lot of people don't understand what an empire is. So let me throw some examples out there. Have you ever heard of the British Empire? Have you ever heard of the Roman Empire? Have you ever heard of the Moorish Empire? Okay. Now imagine being able to build your own empire. Now again, everybody, this ain't for everybody. All right, everybody ain't gonna have their own empire. I want y'all to understand this now. All right, everybody, oh, I want my empire. I want my empire. Because you gotta remember, some people don't even have a boss mentality. All right, some people is okay with having a 30-minute lunch break. All right, some people are okay with making $20 an hour, $30 an hour. So you see what I'm saying? Those type of people aren't meant to run an empire, be an emperor of an empire. Okay, a lot of those people are meant to, serve other people. That's not a bad thing, all right? Because everybody does their due diligence, all right? Because in an empire, you need those that have their understand, okay, these are my expertise. I'm not the emperor. I'm not the supreme, all right? But I'm going to help you in this empire, and I understand I do matter, all right? I would say you would matter more to an empire than you would your corporation that you're working hourly for. All right, for sure, my empire, because it comes with financial stability. All right, now imagine you come into my empire and then you have expertise at taxes, or let's say expertise at videography. All right, let's say you've been in I don't know, building websites for the last 10, 15 years. All right, and you wanted to barter your expertise with having protection from the empire. All right, that comes with having your private administrative process, your public administrative process done for various accounts. All right, certain things you don't even have to worry about, because one thing I understand is most people want to get paid to do what? Go pay bills. All right, now I've learned, like, wait a minute, instead of paying people, all right, to do services, why not trade my expertise with their expertise? All right, most people want money to pay for their rent. Why not just tell them to send me their lease, and I'll chop down the lease for them, and they just give me their expertise? All right, so that's what I literally created. All right, so it's literally, I don't have really no overhead right now as far as employees, because we had a barter and trade situation now. And you know what I'm saying? I'm here to let y'all know, like, that is really the level to be in. I remember one point in time, I was spending $22,000 a month on employees, family. All right, $22,000 a month, and wasn't even really thinking about it until I literally ran into a business coach, and they told me, "Hey, man, what are you doing? All right, you're paying who? How much did that person get? What are they doing again? Oh my gosh, no, man, no." You know what I'm saying? This, but I had to learn, growing pains. All right, but now it's like, man, let me barter my gift, all right, for that person's gift. So now I got security guards, I got producers, all right, I got video editors. All right, but I am looking for somebody that can cut my videos up. All right, so when I retire, because I really don't want to have to even deal with that or worry about that. So, but I got a lot of videos that need to be cut up. But yeah, that's the offer that I have. I seen some people making some, real nasty comments saying, "Man, he looking for some slaves. He looking for some slaves, y'all. What? Who about to do all that?" And I'm like, man, this is incredible to see. Like, I'm literally giving something that they don't even really understand I'm giving. Imagine somebody saying, "Yo, give me your lease. Let me build the process for you. All you got to do is chop my damn videos up." You see what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? All right? But I love that people can, bypass the negativity and see the value, all right? Because, again, man, all right, and I kind of look at myself as a genius in that aspect, being able to create that thought. It's like, wait a minute, instead of paying people, why not offer my services? All right, I got all these classes, I got all this information that I can give. Why should I be paying anyone? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm just saying that to show y'all, like, where I've come, where I've been with this. All right, I'm retired in October to do more, background work, do more philanthropy work, work on some movies as well. That's really what I want to, dive into. So being able to make some high connections, being able to make some high connections, all right, and being able to really help people on another level. Because again, y'all, for those who have been following me, y'all know I never held no hands. I never had a service where I was like, "Yo, send me your contract and let me break it down." It was always, I'd rather teach you to do it so you don't never have to come back. All right. Now, with this service that I got now, of course, it's great. It's wonderful. All right. It's like 2-in-1. I do the documents for you. I also send them to you. So I don't send nothing on your behalf. So I don't want y'all to think I'm your personal attorney or something like that. I'm literally drafting the documentations. I'm sending them to you. All right, you're looking over them, make sure everything sounds good, looks good, your name is correct. All right, your state code, your state laws match up. All right, because you have to research this stuff, because when you send it out, it's coming from you. You got to remember, I'm going to do my thing. All right, them documentations going to be so, man, what? All right, but you have to meet me halfway as far as studying it before you send out. Because I've been a lot of people that's just rushing, sending it, and it's like now they're getting to mediation. Now they're like, oh my gosh, what? I'm like, yo, go off of the documentation. Take the documentation with you. Look, don't say nothing that you don't see on that paper. It's that easy. A caveman can do it. All right. So we do have those services. All right. We definitely have those services. Now we're not gonna say the price of those services because we know we got a lot of people that be like, oh my gosh, what? All right. If you would like those services, go to my link in my bio on YouTube. It should be on TikTok as well. If not on TikTok, come over to Instagram. All right. We have the service is called Contract Review Service. All right. Credit cards, cars, mortgages, current accounts. All right. We also have a service for new acquisitions. All right, new acquisitions. So get you a house, y'all. Get you a house, get you a car before I retire, family. All right, because you don't want to be like, man, damn, I should have went on ahead and got it. Man, damn, I should have. I'm trying to tell you. All right, this has never been done. Show me someone else that is literally building this up. And not only that, all right, we're building it up so we can put you in position to claim your unearned interest back. That's why I mentioned it earlier in the live. Y'all remember we was talking about unearned interest? All right, so peep this. Imagine if you signed up for this service, you done got a mortgage, well, your house was 2.5 million. You done been in there for 15 years. You halfway done paying on it. All right. And then I come in. All right. We basically claim the full 2.5 million, not what the outstanding balance is. We're going to claim the security interest in which you originally signed for. So what that is going to do is basically offset the account, because after we claim the security interest and they say, no, we don't take this type of payment, then we go to court. Now we're going to force the court to make them enforce that tender of payment, which is now going to make the books off balance. Now we can wrap around and say, okay, courts, we would like all unearned interest to be reported back to us, because 15 USC 1615 says so. We prepaid in full, utilizing the original contract. All right, now we're coming back to claim unearned interest. All right, and that's why we getting so many people that's coming back and getting more service. So we got people that's not only getting the car service, coming back getting the house service. They don't want the house service, they want to get the trust service. They don't want trust service, they want to talk about building a dynasty trust. Now they want to get into the with people subscription that we have every Sunday. You know, long time, not just customers, but long-term members. All right, it's about building members, fam. It's not about building a fan club, groupies, nothing like that. I can't stand groups. I can't stand brown noses. All right, I can't stand that. All right, don't come around me buttering me up and stuff like that, because I can't stand readers. All right, I can't stand non-readers. I apologize. I can't stand non-readers. All right, if you're not reading, if you're not applying, there's a certain level of experience that you will never get to understand. There's certain things that people cannot teach you. There's certain things that I cannot teach you. All right, certain things that I had to learn that I could not learn in the classroom, that I could not learn in an act. All right, I had to learn from physically going through it. All right, that's why I'm saying you have to lose to win. All right, you have to lose to win. Every single great had to lose before they won. So imagine the losers on the side saying, but you lost though. Lost what? Lost what? Losing to me is quitting. Maybe the loss to me ain't the same as a loss to you. All right? A judge telling me, no, case default judgment against you, that's not a loss to me, because I understand there's something called an appeal. You see what I'm saying? Like, only people that don't go through things don't understand. They see this court doc. Oh my gosh, whoa, nah, he lost. Did he? Did he lose? Because last time I checked, there was something called an appeal. Some states let you get 90 days. Some states let you get 20 days to appeal. What is the purpose of appeal? The purpose of appeal is if you don't like the ruling on the lower court, you can go to the big brother in the higher court. All right. Now, that's why it's so good understanding I don't stress, because I have everything built in my private administrative process that's to the T. It's really geared for the higher courts. It's literally built for if I go to court and the judge, the lower court say, nah, I'm not rocking with this. You can't pay a bill with a bill of exchange. All right. That's cool. Now, when I appeal, it's going to go to the higher court. Okay. The higher court is always has a better tooth and comb when it comes to understanding law. And that's where a lot of these cases are overturned. Okay. Now, these people don't want to say that because they literally stop. Oh, my gosh, you lost, though. Lost what? Lost what? Okay, so I'm telling y'all so y'all can kind of see it happen in real time. Y'all know people been praying on my downfall for a while. All right, and it's been fun. It's been kicks and giggles because I've been trying to tell them I wasn't going anywhere. I don't know why they thought it was. We've been getting people that got houses, cars. All right, people that literally paid an eviction like it's nothing. Okay, we got folks that's been in a house for the last 2 years and haven't paid anything. I literally got a client that had literally done been in her house for a year and a half. Okay. And I was telling her, because she was telling me, well, they haven't said nothing. Is that result? I said, yeah, but let's go ahead and close it out. Why leave it up to them? All right. Well, yeah, they've been letting you scot-free for a year and a half, but why? Let's go ahead and seal the deal. So you know what she did? She hit them up, sent them a letter of secure interest. Let them know, hey, I want to go ahead and make sure we good. So y'all know what they ended up doing? All right, now they have a whole case. I think it's August 3rd. August 3rd, all right? So literally August 3rd. So she's going to be able to go in there and say, yo, Your Honor, I tendered my payment back a year and a half ago. All right, I haven't made a payment in a year and a half because I gave them a full tip. You see, now the judge will ask, well, why haven't y'all taken any payment in a year and a half? What's going on? You see what I'm saying? It's like, let's close, let's meet them, all right? Because I used to do that. I used to not be hearing from them. Like, let's say they're not sending no type of notice. Like, my gosh, went by 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. I ain't paid nothing. Oh my gosh, I got results. All right, but let's seal the deal. Because what are we running from? Let's seal the deal. All right, she was so nervous, but now she's not nervous because I had to put my foot in the ass a couple of times. Like, no, we ain't doing that. She's older. She's about 70. All right, but I love that because those folks at that age, they're really open to being able to be coached, if that makes sense. They don't run from it. They're not shy. I'm able to like, hey, no, mister, we ain't doing, no, don't fold on me now. We ain't doing that now. All right, and they receive it real well, opposed to other folks, other folks like, oh my God, you don't gotta talk to me like that. Like, God dang. All right, I definitely like working with older folks way more than I like working with people my age, for sure. All right, but I'm saying that to say, all right, we are meeting the corporations. We ain't running. All right, we meeting them. If they go months without, it should never even be going months without talking to y'all. All right, you should never go 3-4 months without hearing nothing. What are you waiting on? I got some people that be saying, I haven't heard anything from them in 4 months. Why are you sitting back letting them ignore you for 4 months? What are you doing? Go sue. You should be counting every single day. You should have a fee schedule. Counting every single day back to when you first initially claimed your security interest. All right, because now you have proof that, hey, this damage has been going on for the last 4 months, Your Honor, and I have a fee schedule. So, yeah, I would like this to be in my damages, my relief, all right, because, man, I've been going through it, Your Honor. I've been catching damage. I have not been able to utilize my account properly. Yeah. But if you don't come like with that energy, it's not going to happen, family. All right. And yes, your first go around, you might lose. Make sure I look at all the cameras. You might lose. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. After you lose, get the case see why you lost, because they always tell you why you lose. All right, get the case, understand, read your scouting report, look at film, see why you got your ass beat. Okay, every single play, see why. That's why they got film. See why you're trash. Okay. Oh my gosh, I didn't state a damage. Okay, I didn't state a relief. I didn't state a. Okay, cool. All right, next. All right, cool. Let me. All right, damn. All right, cool. All right, now I know next time. All right, now I know. I didn't know at first. No one taught me. Y'all, who's teaching court? Who's teaching y'all about court? Who? I don't want y'all to tag them. Just tell yourself. All right, who's telling y'all about, meaning teaching you the whole aspects of court? Not a lot of people. Why? Because so many people focus on the private administrative process. The private administrative process does not get you remedy. All right. It's the public administrative process, because that's where all your private administrative process information is transferred to. That's what a judge sees. All right. These companies are scared of judges. They're not scared of you. They're not scared of me either, y'all. All right? They're not scared of me either. But what they are scared of is somebody that is persistent, somebody that understands rules and regulations. All right, it's somebody that's not taking a no for answer. All right, they are terrified of those type people. All right, terrified. Okay, and I see why. 20 days, family. 20 days. What did Buddy say I'll pay it in full? He said, I'm thinking 6 months. I'm thinking 10 days, B. We talking 20 days. 20 days. All right. And if you don't want to focus on doing it, if you want to leave it up to me and my team, all right, sign up for the contract review service. All right, 20 days. 20 days. All right. But with that being said, y'all, we are going to be in Greenville, South Carolina. Y'all make sure y'all tap in this weekend. All right, I will be sending the address. We'll be sending the address, family event. It's not going to be my sole event. All right, so for y'all that done came to some of my in person, you know, it's me teaching for the full time. This more is going to be like a family event. You know, the clothing brands are going to be there. Different business CEOs going to be there talking as well. I'm going to be there talking about, you know, private information, public information as well. All right, so y'all are more than welcome to come. Again, this is going to be in Greenville, South Carolina, April. My bad, I'm talking about April. This 20th, July 20th. I think that's Sunday. All right, it starts at 4. Starts at 4. All right, starts at 4. Sunday starts at 4. It's totally free. We will be doing some meet and greet, and I will be answering some questions, unlimited questions for the time being that we are there. All right, so come meet us, y'all. Come meet us. Right after that, we will be doing an event next month in Houston, Texas. All right, we will be in Houston, Texas. I would say Houston, we got a problem, but it's Houston, we got a solution. Okay, solution. All right, we got solutions, not confusions. All right, so we will be in Houston next month. I will be giving y'all the dates. All right, that will be more so my event, teaching, you know, trust law, teaching contract law, teaching as far as rules and regulations in court as well. So make sure y'all tap in with that. But again, if you want it free, come to Greenville this Sunday, family. All right, come to Greenville this Sunday. All right, for those that came to the pop-up that we did last year, all right, we partnered with the a founder of Crush Seeds. All right, Crush Seeds of clothing brand out of Greenville, South Carolina, definitely making some noise. All right, for sure, for sure. All right, definitely a nice line, fam. I'm definitely about to start wearing that for sure, for sure. So make sure y'all grab some when y'all come. Again, July 20th, Sunday at 4, starts at 4, Greenville, South Carolina. All right, it will be in Fountain Inn. All right, I'm selling y'all Greenville, South Carolina, because if you want to fly in, the airport is at Greenville, South Carolina, but the event will be in Fountain Inn, South Carolina. All right, it's Fountain Inn, South Carolina, but Greenville, South Carolina is where you need to fly into. All right, for those that need the address, shoot me a DM. All right, and I will give you the address for that. All right, make sure y'all come out, support. All right, make sure y'all, you know, ask some good questions. There's going to be people there that's, you know, there for clothing, not even understand, like, damn, this person that came all the way to Texas, like, you here for the information. Oh, damn, what that? You see what I'm saying? I just want my following to kind of, you know, collide with other followings. All right, now they're like, damn, I didn't even know that. I didn't even, you know what I'm saying, get that conversation going. All right, because again, it's really each one teach one type thing, you know, because a lot of people will kind of feel it more rather than saying, hey, go read that, rather than seeing somebody, what, you came all the way here from Texas to come to Fountain Inn, South Carolina to learn? Oh man, wow, it must be some big information. What it is? You ain't gotta pay the bill. You ain't gotta pay the bill. You're able to correct that. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen, fam. That's what's gonna happen. All right, for sure, for sure. So make sure y'all tap in. Again, if you need the address, shoot me a DM. For those that's on TikTok, shoot me a DM on TikTok. For those that's on IG, shoot me a DM. For those that's on YouTube, all right, shoot me a DM on either TikTok or IG. All right, my TikTok is Mansa Mahatha 888. All right, my Instagram is Mansa Mahatha 888. All right, so if that's what y'all need, go ahead. I see some people asking for prices for the contract review. We do have a sale going on for trust. All right. I was supposed to stop the sale last Sunday. We are going to end the sale. All right. We was doing Father Day trust for 500, and then we started doing everybody's trust for 500. All right, normally we do trust for 1,500. All right, but it is at 1,000 now. If you want a living trust built, all right, for anybody, man, woman, all right, it is 1,000. Again, that's an irrevocable trust we can build. We can build a revocable as well. A lot of people ask, well, why only irrevocable? One of the main reasons why I would recommend an irrevocable, and I know a lot of people don't say that, all right, it's because the assets can't be in probate. All right, meaning if you get a house, if you acquire the house with an irrevocable living trust, you add a dynasty clause to it as well. All right, which basically extends it out 21 years after your death. All right. Now, when you acquire that asset, all right, and let's say the banks wants to try to foreclose on you or something like that, you can literally bring up your trust certification, your trust articles, let them know, hey, whoa, wait a minute, this is irrevocable. I have it in my bylaws that this property is not supposed to be in probate, because that's the only place that banks can basically take your assets is in probate. All right, so imagine it never being able to go in probate. All right. Now, again, just because you got it in there doesn't mean just automatically not go. I'm not going to say they're not going to try you. They're going to try to put it in probate, but you have to stand on your square. Okay. Stand on your square. Okay. I had somebody ask me, well, what if I had irrevocable trust, but I didn't stand up properly, I didn't defend it, and they basically foreclosed my home. All right, but basically what you can do, that was an illegal foreclosure, just like it was just like an illegal eviction. Just like there's people that get evicted, they do a temporary restraining order, they do an appeal, 72 hours, they can be right back in that same unit. All right, so it's no different from a foreclosure. Let's say you was foreclosed, you done got moved out, the sheriff done came, moved all your stuff out. All right, and then you started your case. All right, literally, this asset was in a trust, in an irrevocable trust. So I don't know why it was in probate. I don't know how a bank was able to do that. All right, but this is a total violation at this point. All right, so you basically open up that case, provide the new evidence, and boom. All right, when I say boom, I want y'all to think it's easy. It's more to it, but I'm just kind of giving y'all the C's. All right. But yeah, if that's what you want to do, you can sign up for that. Trust. Again, we're going to add the dynasty clause. Now, again, what is a dynasty clause? A dynasty clause basically supersedes your trust after death 21 years. So meaning if you have a living trust and you die, all right, or you transfer, all right, or you transition, okay, if you have a dynasty clause attached to it, your trust literally lasts for the next 21 years. All right. Now, the next level from a living trust, all right, and a lot of people try to say, well, I got an ecclesiastical trust, I got a split trust, I got a this trust. Family, there's only two types of trust, irrevocable or revocable. Okay. All these fancy ass words that people are learning and stuff, that does not make it more powerful. Okay. I don't know who's telling y'all because you throw that in there, just because you throw the words private trust, and all trusts are private. So why throw the word private in your trust name? Why is it John Smith Private Trust? Why isn't it just John Smith Trust? People be throwing, like, trying to get all glittery and all fancy. Oh, this is a dominion claiming all ecclesiastical dimensions of all rights, trusts, and all the, like, come on, what are we doing? Okay, what are we doing? All right, that does not make it better. Just it's either an irrevocable trust or a revocable trust. And when you understand dynasty trusts, all right, they are automatically irrevocable. Why? Because dynasty trusts last for 100 years plus. Some of y'all might not have heard of a dynasty trust before, because most people keep it on the level of living trust. All right, but there's something called a dynasty trust. That's more for your family. Okay, that's more for your family. Dynasty trust supersedes 100+ years. That's why it's automatically irrevocable. All right, because every single asset that transferred into the dynasty trust, it cannot be touched by a bank. All right, cannot be touched by a financial institution, cannot go into probate. All right, meaning my houses, my cars can get passed down to my grandkid. Not granted, I'm sure they're not gonna want my cars, all right, because they can get their own damn cars. All right, but if I wanted to, all right, I could pass down this house for the next 100 years. Okay? You have to have that clause in there, all right? Because if you're not, if you have a living trust, it's going to end when you die, family, okay? Now, remember, a dynasty trust and a living trust is two different things, okay? Now, we do have services if you need a living trust. We also have service if you need a dynasty trust. All right, we charge. I can't say the price because TikTok gonna ban us, but yeah, if you need to understand what the price of the services are, go ahead and shoot me a DM. All right. For those that's on YouTube, make sure you come over to Instagram as well. Again, current contracts, current mortgages, or you want to acquire a new mortgage, a new car contract. All right. It's the all end all be all, family. Right here, right here. We Walmart. Okay. We done turned into a Walmart before we retire. All right. So get you one before we get up out of here. Okay. Get you a house, get you a car. All right. Get you a trust built. All right, because again, I promise you, it's gonna be built the correct way, family. No shortcuts, no just trying to throw it together real fast. None of that, family. It's handcrafted. You're gonna understand everything that's going on with your situation. I'm gonna give you instructions, signing instruction, where it goes, where it don't go. All right, meaning you can't mess up. The only way to mess up is if you do not read the instructions or the manual that I send with your packet. All right, that's the only way. All right, so with that being said, family, peace and love. Hopefully, I see y'all this Sunday. All right, this Sunday, make sure y'all tap in. Peace, peace.